so we are here for our first how-to video. This video is going to be going over sit. Most of you are already going to know how to do this with your dog, have already taught your dogs to sit. So we're going to try to point or give you some pointers to push that to the next level, be that duration, be that no more luring, things like that. So some things that you're going to need are foundation videos, marker words, food luring. Those are going to come into play here. If you have fitness equipment or want to do fitness stuff with your dog, any uneven surface is another great tool that you can use for this. But essentially, if you think about the food luring, that wherever their nose goes, the rest of them follows. Think about when you're asking your dog to sit, what is their body doing? So typically, stand. So, back, there we go. So typically for a stand, their nose is gonna go up. So if you watch her nose is gonna go up and backwards and her butt is gonna drop. That is typically the food luring. So for a lot of people, this becomes a hand signal for sit because this is how we've lured them into position. So again, stand. Nose goes back, butt's gonna drop, okay? Bless you, good girl. So that is typically how that goes. One of the other things you wanna make sure you are practicing with this as well is practice it from a down. So again, her nose is going to come up, her butt's going to stay, her feet are going to bring her into a sit. Okay, if your dog struggles with this one, with going from the down, get your stinky treats, reward subtle movements at first. So if you're gonna go up, reward that, okay? Then your next time, reward something a little further until you get to the point that they're following that food all the way up back into that sit. Another thing I want you to try or to keep in mind, do not always practice sit from this position. One of the things that is pretty common with my clients is they will be walking with their dog. I say put them in a sit, they say sit, their dog now does this and sits. Because this is how sit has always been taught. Instead, practice the same motion with them next to you, bringing their head back until their butt falls, okay? When you are changing positions, when you're putting them on your left, putting them on your right, and teaching it that way, don't ask for a sit right away, meaning don't verbally ask. Use your food lure until they're offering that sit consistently. Then once you're getting that, then verbally ask for your sit. One of the other things that you can do, if you think about again, when I had her in a stand and she sits, okay, she didn't do it that time. Typically what happens, front feet move, back feet stay. Stand. Good. Sit. Good. So she's taking her front end to her back end. Another way that you can practice, and there are a couple different ways that you can do this, getting their front feet to stay and their butt to come in. This is called a tuck sit. So they're tucking in to sit. One way you can do it is pulling them into you and automatically luring into a sit. So they're stopping, butt's gonna continue going. Another thing that you can do, this might be too small for her butt, but we're gonna see. Get something that they can actually fit on and sit on. And you're gonna ask, good. Same thing, work on that sit, pull out. Which this is causing, sit. Good. It's a little tight. This is causing her to get a nice tight tuck sit. This is also something that is a fitness thing. Getting all of their joints to tuck in this way. Fall out. You can also use unstable surfaces. So for me, I have actual little fitness tools. Fall out. But if you have couch cushions, You can use couch cushions, you can use pillows, anything to kind of make it unstable. But same thing, she gets up there, sits. Now she's kind of wobbled, she's working her muscles differently. So she's working that sit. All up. All right, so getting off of a food lure. So once you're to the point that you're practicing this in a lot of places, your dog's luring super consistently, but now you want to get away here from having to use your food lure to get a sit. So what I want you to do, hands in your pockets, hands to your side, relax. I want you, stand, sit. If your dog does not sit, then I want you to food lure and click. I want you to pause after asking for that verbal. So instead of sit, I want you to sit, pause, then lure, okay? That pause is going to help start teaching them what that word means. So then if you practice this, stand, sit, then you're going to jackpot reward the moment that they sit without a food lure. So they set on the verbal without a food lure. What a jackpot reward is, several treats back to back to back. So it is not taking a handful of treats and giving them the whole handful. It is one treat after the other to help make that big reward. Where instead, you take 3 treats, give them 3 treats at one time, you just gave them 1. You take 3 treats and gave them 1, 2, 3, you just gave them 3. The way that I start working into duration, so you're gonna do duration before you do distance. Because if you think, in order for you to get here, this far away, that takes 2 or 3 seconds. In order to get all the way over there, that's going to take 30 seconds. If your dog can't hold a 30-second sit here, they're not going to be able to hold it while you walk away. So this is where the difference between my marker words comes into play. So sit, yes, technically means commands completed. I have not let her break command. My older dogs are terrible with this. They don't understand. Terminal marker means command's over. But instead, sit, good, good girl. That good tells her I want you to sit, keep sitting, don't stop sitting. I could, good, give her some food. She stays, good. She stays, yes. Yes now breaks position. If you've ever taught your dog a release command, sit, fall out. Same thing, release command is what she's waiting for. So my dogs typically are waiting for that release command before they move. But that is how we start adding in that duration. So it is a sit, good, good. And good can be food, good can be verbal, good can be physical. Again, some things to avoid, good girl, yes, that's a good girl. Getting them wild, getting them crazy. Now kudos for you for staying. But some dogs, this is going to get this. It is going to mean they're breaking, they're no longer sitting, things like that. So you ask your dog to sit. You've made it to, we'll say 10 seconds. Now you want to try, hey. Now you want to try for a step. So if you go to take that step, your dog breaks. I usually, sit. Try again. If they stay, jackpot, reward that. If they break, rinse and repeat. But only start with one step. So maybe after, 4 or 5 times, that one step, they break every time. So then, fake step, reward staying for a fake step. Hopefully some of that made sense. Down and stand videos are going to be very similar, so you're going to get some of this information repeated. But I wanted to give the basics, as I know some people do struggle with some of the basics. So if you have any questions over this, please don't hesitate to reach out. And that is bye for now from me and Sage.